Hello, so here we are again. I've now covered over the base of the teddy bear where I shortened his body, and I've actually got a teddy bear's base and his head there ready to go. What I'm doing is looking at either reproducing something like this, which is a little teddy bear. He's actually a jointed teddy bear. He's actually got movable legs and arms. Or you could make one that's more a sitting teddy bear, and he just sits like that, and his arms, etc., aren't jointed. They're just put in close together with a needle felt, and he's got his little eyes. So you've got either there, sitting on those options. To do legs, I'm going to do a series of videos, but this was just the basic video, just to give you an idea of how to get started. And once again, I'm just going to show you quickly how you take some wool and the first way to start is just to lay your wool however you're going to do it, and remember you should roll up your first shape. Roll it up either into a circle or into a long sausage or an egg shape, depending on what you're trying to achieve, and get it into a small knot like that. A few stabs just to secure it from unravelling, and then just continue to stab it into shape. And what you'll find as it gets firmer and firmer and firmer, you can actually mould the shape slightly. So if you get to the point where you've done a head for a teddy bear, or perhaps a head for a little mouse, then you can actually tap away and make some indents for the eyes, make a little nose, etc. there for him. And the firmer your needle felting is underneath, the easier you'll be able to get some definition. So do practice. Practice actually trying to make some sausage shapes and rounds in whatever kind of wool that you've managed to secure. If you're in Guernsey, you can contact me. I can either get hold of some wool for you or tell you some various suppliers. There isn't a lot of it on the island, but you can actually either buy it from me or you can get it from one or two other suppliers locally. Now I'm just moving on this little bit of grey that I did, and what I've ended up doing is very quickly bringing that into a little ball. Use your hands as well. When you warm the wool up, it helps the scales to warm up, and therefore they open the scales on the wool, and therefore when it's warm it wants to attach itself to itself, so it will start to needle felt even quicker. So if you're doing something as a round shape, then by all means roll it in your hands. And it's also useful because you can actually shape the wool slightly like that and squidge as you go. And here's the original sausage that I was working on before. I'm just going to carry on and make that. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet. Haven't made up my mind. The next video I'll be showing you how to make some legs for a teddy bear or for any kind of animal that you want. And there are several ways to make legs. You can either make them as a sort of singular sausage and log, and that's an easy way to do it. You can use a bamboo stick, which is like that, to help you to roll them. I'll show you how. That's a very, very good technique. Or you can also use some wire, but that's a little bit further down the road if you're a beginner. I would suggest you start with soft needle felting without wire to begin with, and just learn to actually needle felt and sculpt the shapes and get the firmness that you require, and start to look at things in a different way. When you're looking at pictures perhaps of a bird or an animal that you'd like to needle felt, then you should really be just looking at the shapes. What shapes makes it up? How can you break that down to get a starter position to work on? As you can see, that big bit of fluffy wool is now turning into a nice little cylinder kind of shape, which I'll be able to use either as a little body. It's probably a bit fat for a teddy bear leg. I think if I tried to attach him on there, he'd have slightly out of proportion legs, but you know, that can still be used for something. And I've got loads and loads of these unfinished pieces that I use for demonstrations to show people how to do them. And this lockdown, I'm going to decide what to make with all these bits and pieces. So I'm going to use up all my odds and ends this week and see what else I can make. I hope you found that really interesting, and I hope you found it helpful if you're a very, very beginner. Basically, you need your foam pad, you need your needles, you need your wool, roll it up, stab away, get a shape. The shape will probably tell you what you want to make out of it. You might start off making a frog, and it might turn into a turtle. But it's your turtle, so enjoy.